guys, I'm trying out a new camera. This is the HP 5210 high definition deal. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't seem to be a very good camera, but we're going to give it a shot. But anyways, it's not about that. Welcome back to TC Vape Reviews, and as always, I've got a new mod here. And actually, this is a hybrid Genesis style mod. It's a very slick design. The machining on this is superb. Actually, there's really not a lot about, there's nothing about this that I don't like. The design of the Genesis style Addy that's on the top is very unique. As a matter of fact, I got this before the Veritas came out, and it's basically a reverse of the Veritas, meaning on the Veritas there's a cup cut out into a rather large piece of tubular metal and unique design, where the cap has that unique design in it. So it's kind of like the mirror image of the Veritas, but into a Genesis style tank. The vapor production is great, and one of the other things I really like about the Romulus is that I didn't have to modify this. This kind of seems to be a growing trend that even some of the more expensive drippers and even some Genesis style Addies, they leave like a little pinhole and you gotta drill it out, put all your air holes and blah 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 blah. It's kind of nice to have a company go, wait a second, we designed it to be like this, and then be able to pull it out and vape it based off of that design, and it just be awesome. I mean, out of the box, this is a great mod. So let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. Your cost on these, I think on the internet you can get them for around 190 bucks. You might be able to find one on eBay or something like that for around 185, but in retail vape shops you're probably looking anywhere from $200 to $240. You kind of have to make your own opinion on whether that's too much for your budget or not. By no means should this be a life decision based around can you get that mod or not. If you're making a life decision whether I'm going to pay my rent or get a mod, pay the damn rent. Forget the mod. I wanted to say something else, but I'm going to be good. Now, it didn't come with a drip tip for me, so I just put on this little drip tip. I don't even know where I got it from, but I thought it looked pretty nice. It's all silver. It is a textured finish where I can kind of feel the metal. It's kind of like it's really soft. It is a great metal. Now, it does have different battery options. 18350, 18650, and I think the other one is 18490. I can tell you. Give me just 1 second. It is, yep, 18490. Google for the win. So you have lots of battery options, so you don't have to have it this large. You can have it very small, and we'll do an up close video so you can really get a good look at it. But that's the gem right there. It does have a nice little THP logo, and the button is recessed, so you can just set it down. Don't worry about it firing. Now, before we get into an up close video, let's talk about the drawbacks to having a Genesis style tank. One of them is this. So remember, you tilt to vape because that releases the juice into the coil, the wick, which delivers it to the coil. And when I say vapor production's good, I'm not kidding. It hits hard and it's wonderful. But because we're doing that, if this is left in your pocket like this, you will lose all your juice. If it lays on its side, you will lose all your juice. It will leak all the way out of there, and then you've got a mess in your hands. That's the only drawback to this. Only drawback to any Genesis style tank. So if you're looking at the RSST, a Steam Boy, Kraken, there's a bunch. Prometheus, there's a bunch of Genesis style tanks. They all have that one flaw. They are not leak proof in the aspect. But if you keep it, you know, now they have like holsters and things for this size mods. You can keep it where it sits upright. You don't have to worry about it. But like, I went to a ball game, watched the Rangers play, and you know, I just kind of held on to it in my hand. It wasn't a big deal. If I left it in my pocket, it would kind of set like this. And with the full tank, I was kind of concerned that it might leak, but it wasn't the end of the world. Maybe next time I'll take a K-Fun where it's just not a big deal if it sits however it sits in my pocket. The flavor out of this is really good. Give me a moment to give a shout out to Kimono Venom and their new glass bottles. Beautifully done. I've got some Scarlet Cake Pop in here from Komodo Venom, which is a very good juice if you're looking for variety in your life. Komodo Venom makes some good juice. But I've got that in here. It tastes just like I'm dripping it, and it could be because of the way I build it. A lot of these rebuildables, it's all going to be subjective to how you build it, and of course, taste is subjective. But compared to the Veritas, the Capo, the Patriot, K-Fun, the Kraken, Prometheus, I wasn't real hot about flavor production, but those right there, if you like the flavor of those and that it produces and the vapor production, you're going to be really happy with this. So let's get to an up close video on this. Okay, so here's your opportunity to see this guy up close. You see the logo for THP right here, and it's got the little flame, and your serial number is below that. And this one is 993. And I'm going to go ahead and this is how you'll get it. Well, I should say, this is how I got mine. I did not get a drip tip with mine, so I don't know if that's just how they come or not. But assuming that mine's just like everybody else's, there's no drip tip. But let's carry on, and let me shake everything around real quick. Anyways, I want you to notice this finish. You see how you really can't see any lines at all through any of this. Now watch this. You see that guy just appear right there? You can kind of see the other one coming out. Now watch it go back. It just disappears. That, ladies and gentlemen, is finely crafted machining. This is what you're looking for when you look for a quality mod, if that's what their intent was. Of course, like some of the Nemesis and things like that, they actually enjoy the beauty lines, and that's why they call them beauty lines. Now, it would have been really cool if they could have continued that flush look where it looked like one smooth design, and maybe just had the glass in there to go, oh look, there is something there. But it's still a beautiful mod. Here is where your juice goes, down below, and up here is where the coils is. This is what makes it a Jenny. Now here is my nasty coils that I have been vaping on hard, and it's working really good. So, like I was saying before, right here we have our coils, and down here we have our wick. Now here is something really cool. This is one of the things I really like about this. I'm going to tilt this up where you can't see it so I don't get juice everywhere. But I'm unscrewing this top piece. Now there is the top, and then if I just delicately there is the tank. Now what does that mean? That means I can fill up my tank with anything. I don't need a syringe or anything. I can literally pour it out of the bottle straight into that. And you can buy additional tanks that actually have a top cap that will seal that in, so you could carry basically a already pre-filled cartridge, I guess you would say, that's ready to rock. As far as cleaning, you know, this is your post, and there does sometimes get a little bit of juice around it if you're not filling it very carefully while it's on top of here. But this is your center post, which is your positive coming up, and we're going to break it down some more here for you. Here is this piece. Let's see if I can get that apart. My hands are kind of slippery. Okay, so as you can see, I got those two pieces apart. This kind of just shows you how you can clean these really easy. And then on the bottom, this is the piece that makes it the hybrid, that connects it to the mod without needing an actual true 510 connection. But you can actually even separate this from this little piece here and clean that up, so your negative connection is really good as well. And if you have one of these and it's real tight, you can use a pair of scissors or a pair of needle nose, stick it in those two holes, and it's normal threading, so lefty loosey, righty tighty, and just thread that right off. When I got mine, it was on there pretty tight. I don't know if it comes that way from the manufacturer, or if the shop I got mine from, somebody just played with it and maybe tightened it up too much. But snug is all you need. So when you put this back together, this is what you're going to do. You're going to clean everything up, put this right in there, and take your time so you don't cross thread it. I'm watching the camera and not my hands. Here we go. There we go. Thread that guy right on in, like such. And then your tank, which may or may not be full of juice, just slides right on. And then your coil, I call the coil head because it's kind of like the head of the tank. So that would thread right on like such. And then now that's a sealed tank. You don't have to worry about that juice going anywhere except for out of the holes in the top. And reluctantly, I will show you what I did here and give you an idea of how to do this build, which is a very simple dual coil build, and the way I set up the cotton so you can mimic that as well. So let's get some tools and we'll do. Okay, so I just got some cotton and something to kind of work with it. So, and I'm a locksmith, so yes, that's a lock pick. Maybe one day I'll show you how to do that. Not. Okay. Just what I need is all the vapors knowing how to pick locks too. Probably wouldn't be good. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and just pull this cotton right on out. And voila. Now you can see some of the cool features of this. One is this top cap. Remember I was telling you it's very similar to the Veritas? See that well, or that channel in there? Let's see if I can get that where it's looking right at you. Haha! Okay, so your wicks are going to come up in this channel here, and then you're going to vape it through that hole right there, and somebody is on a motorcycle. Anyways, and your air holes are right here, which are adjustable, so you can adjust how much airflow you have. It's pretty snug, so once you set it, it stays right where it is, but it's not so hard to move, which I really like, because some of these other mods, that make it where it's just too damn tight to even move that around. And the reason why I build this the way I do, and I'll show you why, is most Jenny style tanks, this top cap just sometimes doesn't have a well or anything to collect juice and prevent it from flowing out through your air holes. This one actually has a rather deep little well, so when you're working on it or dripping, I just kind of base it off the fact that I want the juice to come up in these two holes that you see right there, and then hit my cotton and saturate it through my coils. So let's go ahead and put this guy together real quick. So well, let me show you the battery or the button. So it's a silver plated copper button, brass ring here that you would thread in, and the button has a square design. Let me go ahead and pull this out, which you can't pull it out that way because of the button. But if you look, the button is not just round, it actually has a notch on both sides to prevent it from spinning loose. So what does that mean? It means somebody finally came up with a way so your button doesn't spin loose on you. And also makes it where this is an adjustable throw, which is really nice. So I can do that, I can back it off, and I can still do that, and my throw just gets shorter and shorter. So anyways, we're going to put this on the top, thread that guy right on in, which would be this way. Put my battery in, and put this guy in. And all you do is you snug that down to your battery. Doesn't have to be super tight, just snug. There it is. And what I like to do is I'll just kind of put my cap on there and go, okay, just go ahead and adjust that in a little bit. Although it will self-adjust as you're threading it on, or at least mine has. So, and everything lines up perfect. Go ahead and burn these coils off. This is a dry burn. See how my coils have hung. Oh, look, they're glowing evenly. That's good. Let's not catch the towel on fire, shall we? So what I'm doing is I'm just burning off all the existing caramelization in there, so I can kind of start with the fresh, somewhat fresh coils. Alright, so I've dry burned it. I'm going to let it cool down for just a second. Get my cotton, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my cotton down through my coils and get it right in that chamber. I'm actually not going for the whole stuff my cotton down into the tank. So just going to kind of thread my cotton, weaving the cotton, weaving the cotton, weaving the cotton. Alright, that's good. Get a nice little point at the end. Good job. I just told myself good job. Wow. Awesome. And hopefully you can kind of see I'm just looping it through, pulling it down, boom. That's all I need for there. Get something to cut your cotton. Like I said, it's not going all the way down, so I'm just going to cut it just long enough where when I tuck this in, it's going to be down in that chamber. And that's it. And then I'm going to cut the top off of here, and voila. Oh, we'll pretty it up a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? There we go. Alright, and then I'll just take that and kind of just stuff that around and in and all that good stuff just to clean her up. Alright, and then we'll do that again. Weave in the cotton, weave in the cotton. Oh yeah, you the man. Weave that cotton, weave that cotton. And how? Alright, nice little point on it so I can work with it. And down through the hole, pull that forward enough that I can grab it, pull my cotton in there. When you're putting your cotton through your coils, you don't want them real tight, you just want them nice and kind of free flowing, because what happens to cotton is as you get juice around it and in it, it'll actually start to swell up. And you could, if you put it in there too tight, you can actually restrict the flow of your juice, which would be for a bad vape. Once again, no exact science here, but I'm just going to stuff that down in that well. Now here's the key element. If I don't leave an air hole for that to go, to allow air into the chamber, then I won't really get good juice flow out of that well. So what I will do is actually clear a little bit of that well. So let's see if I can do this where you can see it. So I'm just kind of pushing them towards the back of the well, the cotton that is, so that way when I tilt it, there's going to be just enough air holes for the juice to flow out into that chamber, be saturated onto the cotton, and then we'll be good. So in essence, I should be able to just kind of do this upside down, and that should get my coil, my wicks good and wet. Alright, so I guess on this round I'm going to use some Suicide Bunny mother's milk, but just so you can see how easy it is, which is this camera angle is really hard to work with. This camera angle is really hard to work with, but what I'm going to do is separate it from the mod for a second so you can see how you would do this. So you pull off your little tank top cap, whatever you'd like to call this piece. You take this piece off by unthreading it. You grab you a bottle of juice, and then you pour the juice in. Voila! Put the lid back on your juice. Set the juice to the side. Thread this back onto the well, or the juice chamber, you know, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if there's an exact name to that, but you just do it like that. Just trust me on this one. And then we're going to thread that back into the mod without stripping it, preferably, which I think I was attempting. Put this guy back on, which is the actual kind of like the hybrid adapter, I guess, for this tank. I like that they did that. That makes it where you can really clean every separate piece. I think that's key. And here, and something interesting to know, they actually make a top piece for this mod, so you can actually use it as a regular mod as well. So it doesn't have to be just a hybrid. So we're going to go ahead and tilt this over, and what happens is it's going to fill up that well. You can already begin to see this discoloration of the cotton. It's already beginning to saturate my cotton, so it doesn't take very long if you want to do it this way, just to show people that it works. Or you can just saturate it yourself with, you know, dripping some juice on there. But I thought it'd be neat to just kind of show you that this little system works. And we wait patiently. Also, what I like to do is, for me, it just kind of validates whether or not I have that cotton in there too tight. Because nothing like getting a Jenny tank and then it doesn't want to wick out of the Jenny tank and you get the lovely dry burn hit. Oh, that's just what we all love. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust this back just a little bit, give us a little bit more airflow for our juice. That should really speed things up. There we go. It's almost, now that juice is already up to here, it's pretty dang wet. It's awesome. I love it. Oh, it smells really good. I'm pretty much a strawberry fan, so the Scarlet Cake Pop's like a vanilla cake and strawberries with whipped cream flavor, and the Mother's Milk is a strawberry and custard. So if you're into those juices, those are some pretty good juices if you like strawberries. And well, you can see already that's aces right there. That is what you're looking for. Now here comes the difficult part. This has to be lined up just right for that coils to go into that slot there. So you have to line that up, and this top cap is ridiculously tight. So you kind of have to wiggle it on there. You're gonna, and man, that just made me look like a pro, and I wasn't even trying to. When I first got this, it actually took me a while to figure out to get that lined up perfect. So if I was playing doctor with this thing, I would have blown it up the first day. And there you go. I mean, that is the Romulus, guys, and this is probably this is one of my favorite mods. I've had this for a while now. I got it from my local vape shop, EC Vapes, and I've been very happy with it. And geez, stop it, moron. I've been really happy with it. It's got a nice kind of smooth satin silver finish with chrome highlights on the end, which kind of makes that work out up here. But you see, the only thing I did not, or you know, I don't really dislike it. I'm being really petty at this point. But see this line here, how this goes nice and smooth, no lines, and then it kind of dips in. This doesn't go smoothly with the other piece. I wish this would have been just perfectly, you know, straight, nice, symmetrical line. I'm probably pouring juice right out of there. Well, I do believe that is working like a champ. Well, let's do, let's get out of this view and let's move on, shall we? Alright, so that's the Romulus in a nutshell. Hopefully, if there's enough of you guys wanting to know how to build on this, I will gladly show you, but it's very similar to the Veritas, which kind of is by far, as the Jenny style tank goes, hybrid. I'm in love with it. It is a very, very nice mod. It's sleek looking. If you're in a profession where you need to look professional, it looks nice and sleek, and it doesn't look odd or anything like that. It's just a very simple design, but done elegantly and looks beautiful. The flavor is amazing. There's just really not a lot about this that I can say is bad, so that's the Romulus. If y'all have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. That's probably the best way to communicate with me. Or you can leave me an email, but my Facebook is TC Vape Reviews. Just be sure to subscribe and like to my videos so you can see the next gem. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I've got 20 other things sitting in there waiting to be reviewed, so let's do it.